Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. Live chat. Let me know if the mic's good. What's up, Marine? Yeah, Lord, Marine, you're usually here first. But you alerted us on that Dowdle player prop last week. I think you even beat Coop to it. So, like they say, the early bird gets the worm. I mean, that player prop was the player prop of the year. You spotted that, and obviously I co-sign. I'm going to beat my chest a little bit. I mean, that was an absolute train of a player prop. I mean, speaking of a train we ran, what a Christmas. What a Christmas, man. Wednesday was absolutely just breathtaking, man. And one of my favorite days doing the YouTube videos, man. We absolutely just ran through that. So that was quite fun. And I saw some of you guys bet the over-unders. I told you guys not to do it. I knew you guys were going to do it. The spreads obviously hit. There was no sweat. Like I said on Patreon, actually, I haven't put out the bets yet on Patreon. I already know what I'm going to do tonight. I don't know if you guys are going to like it. Bets will be up way earlier than normal. This is going to be a short show. What's up, Tariq? What's up, Francesco? I'm ready, man. I'm ready for this week. But yeah, man. And my train of thought was I worried about the Christmas bets. Like we had one up on Patreon, but like it was the same thing I did for the Thanksgiving video. I said we're betting every game, and if you bet the over unders, I'm not going to smug my nose. And I knew you guys were going to bet it. It's a holiday. It's Christmas. You're with your family. I worried about the games being sweaters when you guys were with your family, but luckily both were kind of laughers. That was fun. That was fun. What's up, Von? I saw you're on your way to Foxborough. Yeah, I got to play for that game. No one's gonna like. Maybe you'll like it. What's up, Dominique? Yeah, man, it was a good year this year, Dominique. Like, I'm not even beating my chest. Like, I have a theory on why it was so good, but maybe we'll get to that. What's up, Busy? What's up, Busy? Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope the dog's good. But yeah, I would not suggest parlaying those, but if you parlayed the Christmas bets, you would be in a very good position right now. All right, I got it. Listen, I think I have to go earlier tonight, so let's get to the Patreon questions really early. Like I want to dig into them, and I want to make sure I give them the time the Patreon users deserve. And normally like the Patreon users have questions everyone else's, and sometimes they alert me to shit. I had to do the prop video earlier today. So maybe if you guys alert me to a prop, I will regret it. And what's up? Okay, a lot of Christmas wishes. All right, let's start with Hound and Lino. Shout out to you, Lino. Shout out to you. I'm glad you made money this year, man. The Hound, yo, brother. Hope you had a great Christmas and the family's doing well. It was an excellent Christmas. The bets helped. In your opinion, who has the bigger implosion recently, the Steelers or CJ Stroud? Actually Stroud, because we expected the Steelers to be an above average team. Yes, I looked stupid earlier this year, but like I told you guys, I've been waiting to get against the Steelers offense the whole year. And we finally got the opportunity on Christmas Day. And I was very happy with that pick. I don't want to give the Steelers too much hate because like my dad was saying, he's like, listen, Tomlin, you got Andy Reid. You have Bill Belichick as two coaches who are phenomenal. And there's other great coaches in the league, but like those two are a step above. I kind of think Andy Reid's above Bill Belichick, but I don't want to get into that argument now. But yeah, my dad said, he's like, listen, you give Tomlin a quarterback. He wants to see what happens, and I want to see what happens. There's a limit to the shit you can do with guys like Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett, even my guy Justin Fields, there's a limit to what you can do. And I think we saw the limits Sunday, even with I think we saw the limits Christmas Day, even with Chris Jones out of the game. So I would go CJ Stroud more. I did warn you guys that this Ravens defense is getting better. I did warn you guys about that, but even I was shocked with Stroud's performance. Yeah, and maybe you guys were right about the emotional toll of the Tank Dell injury, but this is a next man up business. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at. Okay, let's get to the next question. Let's get to Dicko. Yeah, Dicko, appreciate it, man. Hope you had a great Christmas, my man. Vaughn, how confident are you that the no names can cover the spread? This is Penix's first road game, and the no names front is pretty solid. Yeah, like they're really good at rushing the passer, and Falcons offensive line isn't too good moving back. But I gotta say, Vaughn, I'm not all that confident in them covering it. Like I'm like a 5.5 out of 10 with it. I would not bet that. But I do think I do have a very interesting Jaden Daniels player prop in this game. You guys probably can guess if you've been watching the prop video. Prop video now up, by the way, up earlier for the Saturday games. But yeah, man, the thing with the Falcons is I kind of think Penix is a different type of rookie. Firstly, didn't he come in the league 24-25? And like I said, I'm not a college football expert. You guys know way more than me. But man, he's like a very polished guy. He's a respectful motherfucker. And I think it was a good boost. And I actually think he improves the Falcons because he adds a little bit of mobility. I'm not saying he's like fucking Mike Vick, I'm saying he adds like a lot of mobility and where they can do the boot play action game, which we saw against the Giants. And I know it's the Giants, but he was absolutely phenomenal. He was absolutely breathtaking. And even after Kyle Pitts tried to fumble his first start, which was absolutely disgusting, by the way. How does Kyle Pitts do that? Like on a guy's first start of his career. Like, I don't know what listen, I don't like getting on players for mistakes, but I was wrong about Kyle Pitts. You guys were kind of right. Like my opinion was he's like more elegant. He's got long legs like Moss. Remember when people thought Moss wasn't fast when he first came in the league because he's so elegant, more like he runs more like a deer, more like a caribou. But man, Kyle Pitts he's a sandbagger, and you don't want those guys in your locker room. You don't want those guys in your foxhole. And I don't like comparing NFL to war, but at the end of the day, it's similar. It was always a war game. And so yeah, man, I felt like Penix responded well, and that's why I'm a little bit nervous about the Commanders, Vaughn. Iron City Jazz. Lamb shutdown hurts out. Does this open a betting opportunity or stay as far effing away as you can? Well, I'm staying away. I'm not engaging with it. Like, I feel like we have good bets, and you guys saw me post the bets early this week. Like, and I know you guys want me to engage with every game, and I should be because this is my job. But can I be honest? Like, Iron, I haven't even engaged with that game. That was a no bet if Hurts was in. It's certainly a no bet with him out. Also, like everyone's saying, like bet the over player props for Saquon. It's like over 108.5. Do the Eagles really want to give the ball fucking 25, 30 times to Saquon when you have the playoffs coming up? I don't know, man. I don't know. That game is just, I don't even want to engage with it. And listen, we won a lot of money getting against the Cowboys. Let's be honest about it. But listen, I've been bitten. I've been bitten by them. I've been bitten by them. They're playing better. They're playing competitive. And I just feel like it's a dangerous situation. So yeah, man. What's up, Ron? What's up, TD? Yeah, man, because I don't think we're gonna have a lot of people in here tonight because it's that time of the year. I see college football's on. I'm ready for that Colorado game tomorrow. Maddie Zhang, 4-team teaser. What's your take on Lions -3? Washington money line. I like Washington money line in that spot. I like that a lot. Rams -3. I like you bringing it down to -3. Tampa -2.5. Yeah, the only one where I think you might be floating with a little bit of danger is Lions -3, but I think Lions winning the cover. I'm doing a separate video on it, and I'm thinking if I want us betting that. But Maddie, I feel like that's a solid teaser, and I really like how you brought the Rams down. Now, would I like to see the Rams at -2.5, just playing the math, following the Wong method of teasers, of course. But yeah, man. I'm actually thinking something similar because I'm posting one of my -115 2-team teasers as a normal bet. So I think we're thinking along the same lines, but I don't want to spoil the bet. Quat, what's up, Quat? How about them Raiders last week, baby? Raiders. O'Connell's playing good. Can someone get me O'Connell's over/under pass yards this week? Can someone put that in the chat? And then once I finish this question, I can engage with it because I had so many props on the prop video this week. I didn't even engage with that game. But Aidan O'Connell's playing pretty damn good football. And if he has time to throw, I kind of like his props in that spot. Okay, Quat, money line parlay. Cincy, yes. I think Cincy wins the game, man. It's dangerous, but I think Cincy wins the game. Detroit, I think Detroit wins the game. Listen, the Lions are going to need to outscore them. That's the one reason why I'm nervous about laying points, but because it's Monday and I'm going to do a separate video on it, I'm still thinking about it, and I think we need to think really hard about it. But I think there's some prop angles in this game. I think the problem with the Lions is they're going to have to try to outscore the 49ers, which they're more than capable of. That offense is an absolute juggernaut. Maybe look at some Gibbs props. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate prop for that. I feel better about the props in that game, like Purdy. I don't want to give away the video anyways, because we got until Monday, but Lions money line, yes, Quat. Miami, yes. If Miami doesn't win the game, just take me out back and just whip me. Just hang me up on a tree and just whip me if Miami doesn't win the game. Okay. Listen, I made it really simple, and people tried to give me pushback last week. I made it as simple as I could. I probably talked about 30 fucking minutes about the Browns-Bengals game, but I made it really simple. You say DTR, I say bet the other side. I even did the video with my dog on Instagram. Miami money line. Okay, good. Okay, so far Quat's got Cincy, Detroit, Miami money line, Washington. Yeah, I like Washington money line in this spot. Listen, there's always parlay busters this time of year, and it's debatable. Listen, I don't think Washington needs this game as much as other people think, but listen, they're going to try to win the game. Someone think of the playoff videos. Someone think of the playoff scenarios. Let me see if someone put the Aidan O'Connell in the chat. Brianna Martinez, Lawson Kloss, been an amazing season because of you. Just can't wait for the playoffs. Thank you. Coop, thank you. Coop, thank you. 222 and a half on 365. Man, I missed that one in the prop video. Cool. Can I tell you something that really pissed me off? I almost had to ask you for you to go to your books and dig. I really like a prop this week in Miami's game. I know it sounds crazy. Now, hear me out. Luckily, you told me Menchie wasn't playing last week for the Texans. So, Coop, hear me out. Waddle's out of the game. I don't think Achan's going to get a lot of touches running the ball. They're using him as a fucking receiver now. So maybe that works against my angle here. But hear me out. So, okay, we got Jonnu Smith over 48.5. Obviously, that looks good. I like the red meat of Tyreek to Thrill Hill. over 53.5, Coop. But what are you getting for Malik Washington? Because I went and bet 365, and funny, they didn't have him. They didn't have him. And I had to like really dig around, and I still couldn't find a prop for him. And he's probably going to be the number 2 receiver because Waddle's out. And I feel like I saw, and now we haven't had a lot of sample size of Malik Washington. I don't know why we're going off on Malik Washington on this. I needed Coop's opinion. But I feel like that's the prop of the week, as crazy as it sounds. Like, I think he's going to get like 6 or 7 targets, and someone's got to step up outside of Waddle. And listen, Denzel Ward's always injured, but you would assume he's going to be on Tyreek Hill. They don't move him around, but like, come on, man, he's going to get good matchups. So I think Malik Washington is the prop of the week. But funny, the books aren't putting it up, and that's one thing Coop alerted to earlier in the year. Like, they're blocking props. Like, come on, man. Okay, I got to read this from Leo. I think I have to put on my big boy pants and bet the Saints money line. Raiders are so unserious. Aiden O'Connell gives me pause. Here's the thing about the Raiders in this game, Leo. I was begging people to bet it because I couldn't come out here and say Raiders money pick last week. I'm not beating my chest or trying to be hindsight bias and look like I'm sort of fucking genius because they beat the Jags. Raiders actually look poor in that game at times. I liked Aiden O'Connell the game, but the Raiders did really frustrate me that game. Yes, I watched it. I locked in this week. I've been locking in all year, but I actually fucking watched that Jags-Raiders game on Monday. But yeah, the Raiders are really unserious. And Antonio Pierce is going to have them playing. Like, the stuff about tanking, like, people are saying, like, oh, Giants are going to tank. That's why they're not going to cover the 7.5. Like, guys, I already think I made my point really clear about tanking. GMs tank. Coaches don't tank. No one tanks who's playing the game and who has to get hit. GMs can tank. So that's where I'm at. But, yeah, like, the Raiders, every time they get a win, and every time they get a win with Pierce, the next game they just come in like just completely unserious. Like, and I want to defend Pierce because listen, Leo, and listen to everyone in the chat. I know no one cares about Brian Callahan. Why am I talking about Brian Callahan? That's not going to get clicks or anything. And we're talking about Antonio Pierce losing his job. Well, was he the one who chose to sign Gardner Minshew? I've been critical of Pierce's coaching this year. I feel like it's really archaic. It's like early 90s NFL. But Brian Callahan's been an absolute disaster. And if this was a serious organization in the Titans, he would lose his job. Antonio Pierce should continue with his job. And I don't know if the Raiders can attract a name. Like, maybe you could say, oh, Pierce cost them Shedeur Sanders. Okay, fair enough. But they're not attracting a name anyways. If they got Shedeur Sanders, that's a different story. So it's just, I just feel like it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like Pierce is being the whipping boy, and I don't want to play part in it when someone like Brian Callahan fucking slides scot-free and just blames Will Levis. Like, he gets the Will Levis out. And Antonio Pierce like gets like criticized every fucking minute. You know what I'm saying, guys? Okay, Coop says Washington's going to be posted Sunday morning. Coop, it's ridiculous. Like, and they just posted Janu's. It's just, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, Coop cooked them earlier in the year, and ever since then they've been really late with the props. Like, anyways, I went down a rabbit hole. Okay, here we go. Aiden O'Connell was on the prop video last week. John Noosa, who's the quarterback for the Browns? Better chance for Cincy. We have the best quarterback possible to get against John. DTR. Listen, man, I'm not even trying to beat up on DTR. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I get it, tanking, and I just felt like I don't know. We don't need to go into like the Jameis Winston DTR thing again. I've already gone way too hard on that. Like, yeah, and we're talking about Aiden O'Connell for like 10 minutes too. So I just feel like DTR is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like John Skeleton, like Ryan Finley, um, Jalen Hall for the Vikings last year. Like he's one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. And didn't we won bets with him last year? As crazy as it sounds, but that's what a train that Browns team was last year. Richard Lockhart, Happy New Year, John. What's your favorite live dog this weekend and best teaser? My favorite live dog is Jets plus 3.5. That's my favorite live dog. I would not be shocked if either the Giants or the Jets steal the game. Like, I know, like, when I put the Jets plus 3.5 on the upset video, I had to I had to hear the comments saying Bills are going to win. What are you, crazy? Like, it's an upset show. It's 10-point spread, guys. Like, anyways, those would be my two. But Rich, I got an interesting thing that's coming up on Patreon after the show. So I'll leave it there. Ace, about the Browns Miami under. In the over-under video, I think I gave a good pathway. I can't say I'm in love with the over-under either way, because like I kind of see a world, I see a game script where the Dolphins can absolutely explode. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic. It's just Tua's barely seen single high coverage this year, and that's how the Browns play, and they can't cover anyone. And so I kind of think we could see a Tua explosion, a Dolphins explosion. I could see a world where the Dolphins win like fucking 17-3 as well. So let me just preface the statement with that. But I do kind of like the team total under for the Browns and the team total over for the Dolphins. And I think to protect against variance, you parlay those two together. Like I said, I can't remember the numbers. I believe it's like 23.5, under 18.5 for the Browns. The Browns team total has moved down since then. But yeah, like I did like a parlay, like under 18.5 for the Browns, over 23.5 for the Dolphins. That came out to like plus 130, I believe, on the show. So yeah, man. But yeah, go check out the video, but the team totals moved drastically. Alan, hey, Lawson, where are you on the Titans-Jags game? I'm on the Jags with that. I really engaged that game a lot on Tuesday. Like I ended up talking about it for 5 minutes. I think Mac Jones is better than you guys do. Like, am I saying Mac Jones is a starter in this league? No, but I've actually liked some of his performances. I don't think he was poor last week against the Raiders, like everyone's saying. Felt like he was excellent the second half against the Texans. And he was obviously really poor the first game against the Titans. So, yeah. But I do think this Jags team's fighting. Like, their defense have actually been a lot better the last 7 weeks than it was the 7 weeks previous, as crazy as that sounds. So, yeah, I like the Jags in that one, Ace. Okay, here we go. Let's get to Quat. If you had to pick a quarterback to invest in, who would you choose? Or do you think CJ Stroud is better still than this year's class? Are you talking about the second quarterback in this draft? I have to go with like what you guys and my dad are saying. I would go Cam Ward. Although I think Shedeur Sanders is the true class, and I've only seen Carson Beck play once, but that looks like a 6th rounder to me. He looks like Jake Fromm to me, and we're just trying to force quarterbacks now. So like if Jake Fromm was coming out like this year, I think Jake Fromm would be like a fucking top 10 draft pick, because we all want to force quarterbacks, and I get it, man. In terms of like quarterback twos in this league, obviously I would go Jameis. I do think we deserve Jameis to be starting on an NFL team next year, but we know how this league is. No one will make a cutthroat decision and get rid of a first, second, or third year quarterback if they drafted them, because that means people are going to have to take responsibility and lose their jobs. So yeah, it would be Jameis Winston. And I don't know how the Raiders didn't get him this year instead of Minshew. I don't. But like I said, GMs tank, coaches and players don't. The white guy, John. I love the over on the Bengals game. I do. I saw it went up. When I picked it, it was 49.5, I believe. I think it's up to 50 right now. What besides that would be your top bet? I'll take my top bet. Although, like, I want the money spread equally this week. I just don't see any reason why we need to focus on one game in week 17 with the best bet. It's not like a cop-out. It's just I want to spread it around. I mean, I do have a best bet, and I'll type it to you, but it's just I want people spreading the money around this week, especially because it's week 17, week 18, that type of year. Vaughn, currently on the way to the airport, heading to Boston while the live call-in show is happening. I'm hoping we pull off an upset while I'm in attendance to make the Chargers path even harder. Thank you, my man, for everything you do for us. My son had a great Christmas thanks to you. Hashtag loss and clause. Hashtag win or lose, go Patriots. I'm excited for that Patriots-Chargers game. Like, that is kind of like a gift. I just wish the Colorado game's at night, right? Okay. I'm excited for the Patriots. I want to see what type of performance they have. And I'm glad your son enjoyed his Christmas, man. And appreciate it, Vaughn. And yeah, man, just make sure you use proper boots. I don't know if you heard my story yesterday when I was when I went to Buffalo when I was 8 years old and the Jags were playing the Bills, and I ended up having to be in the injured player room in the locker room. Anyways, use the right boots. Don't get frostbite. Cows, Lawson, Happy New Year. Did we throw it all on the Colts, Jags, and Chargers? Cows, are you trying to troll me? I'm not sure the Colts. I'm not sure why everyone keeps trying to force the Colts bets. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone was trying to force the Colts bet against the Broncos. Everyone's been trying to force these Colts bets. And I'm just trying to tell you guys, they're not a very good team, and they have an absolute train wreck at quarterback. Anthony Richardson can win any game. He can win it by himself. Like, that's how athletic he is. But he can lose any game. And I think the Giants are, I'm not going to say like they're like barking, like I hate the dogs barking thing, but you guys get what I'm saying. I do think the Giants are a dangerous entity in this game as long as Malik Neighbors plays. And I do think the Colts run the ball for like 200 yards. I do have an Anthony Richardson player prop that's been gold, and I go under on all his shit. It just depends what week by week. It just depends what under I'm going to go with in terms of Anthony Richardson. I think we got a really good under this week because I think the Colts are going to run the ball the whole fucking game, and they better. I actually think the Giants secondary is better than people think. I mean, obviously the Giants can't stop the run. There's no Dexter Lawrence. But this Colts defense isn't exactly anything we would fear, right? I mean, so yeah, man, I don't think the Colts are like some sort of preordained money pick. I mean, the time to get against the Giants was the whole fucking year when I was yelling since week 3. And when everyone wanted to bet them every single week. I mean, that was the time to get against the Giants. I think it's a little late now. I mean, can we walk through the math of this? And I got a lot of pushback for the Falcons -8.5 last week, guys, on Patreon. I'm surprised I got pushback on it. And I'm not just saying it because it won. Like, I was surprised I got fucking pushback on it when I posted it. I posted it early in the week too. I wanted to lock it in. I didn't want going back up to -10 when Kirk was playing. So let's just walk through the math for a second, guys. So last week, we're looking at Giants going to the Falcons. Obviously, Giants suck. We know that. So Giants are plus 8.5 against the Falcons. Now the Giants are at home against the Colts, and the Giants are plus 7.5, plus 8. Can you please make it make sense? Should the Colts be laying 7, 7.5, 8? Should the Colts be laying even 4 points against anyone in this league? I don't know, man. Especially on the road, outside of that dome. Have you seen some of the mistakes they've made? And for all the bad luck I got earlier in the year, I know the Colts probably should have covered that game against the Broncos. But fucking Jonathan Taylor was at the end zone and he just throws away a fucking touchdown. Shane Steichen's even making mistakes. Shane Steichen feels like he's on tilt, which is a surprise to me and you guys, right? I mean, did you guys see that defensive touchdown the Broncos defensive end got? Did you guys see how bad Anthony Richardson was that game? Like, man, I love the running game. I love old school football. And this is one reason why I'm worried about the Eagles going into the playoffs. And I know this from being a Vikings fan with Adrian Peterson. Brett Favre understood the modern NFL better than other people, better than Brad Childress. It's because when you have guys like Adrian Peterson, when you rely heavy on the run game, yes, you can put up yards. Yes, they're dangerous. Yes, I love running backs. You just don't want that to be your full offense, especially in this modern day NFL, because you get a 2nd and 13, 2nd and 14, you're fucking done when you got someone like Anthony Richardson. The Eagles can recover because they got fucking A.J. Brown. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, they got fucking Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and a great tight end. That's one reason why Brett Favre was throwing it like 60% of the time when the Vikings had that great year with Adrian Peterson. Because if Adrian Peterson is a little bit different, he had kind of like a more Barry Sanders mentality where you would get a lot of 3rd and 4, 3 and 4 yard losses. We even see that with Henry. We don't see that with Saquon. We don't see all that much Jonathan Taylor. But I think my point still stands. In this modern NFL, you just can't be 100% run. You can't rely on that for explosive plays. Crypto Sam Lawson, let me pick your brain. Bill 3, thank you for the super chat. Crypto Sam. Okay, Lawson, let me pick your brain. Bill 3-team teaser, Broncos plus 10.5 and Rams plus 111. Okay, Broncos plus 10.5, Bills money line and Rams money line plus 100. I don't know, man. Crypto Sam, like the methodology behind the Broncos moving them up to plus 10.5 is fine. It's just I don't like teasing over-unders when they're that high. Like, for instance, if we're going from plus 3 to plus 10.5 or plus 3.5 to plus 10.5, that's fine. That's great. I just wouldn't want to tease that when a total's 50. I would want to tease that when it's 41 and 40. Like, I can explain and walk through the math for you, but I think you're understanding the math. And I think there's a high probability that game turns into a shootout, and I think there's a lot of points. And that makes your teaser more in danger. But overall, I like the methodology. It's just, I would just caution about the fundamentals and math of that Broncos plus 10.5. If you think the Broncos are like going to cover that spread, the plus 3.5, I mean, I guess you got to do it. I guess you're pot committed if like you really think that's going to happen. I don't think the Bengals are going to fucking whip them. Now, can the Bengals beat anyone by 10 points? Well, they almost didn't want to beat DTR by 10 points last week. It was brutal. It was brutal as someone holding a -8.5 ticket. Who would have thought out of the 3 Sunday 1 o'clock games that we were holding tickets on, that would be the hardest game. So yeah, I would just suggest, if I had to suggest a teaser to do that, I would bring Tampa Bay down. Even though I think the Panthers are somewhat dangerous, I would just err on the side of caution, and I would bring Tampa Bay down. I'm sure you're not rushing to back Tampa Bay this week, but I think that makes sense. Yeah. The entire AFC South makes me sick. Okay. Just got Yard Barker. Just got through writing on my info down, and now I'm going to listen to you before place bets. Yo, man, what's up, man? Yard Barker. You said I'm a little bit better than Giff, dude. There was a time when Giff even wrote he was tracking his money picks. Giff was 7-23 on money picks at one point this year. Okay, if I did that, my wife would be on the street. I would be begging at the corner, holding a fucking cup, and that's fine. Like, this isn't his income. Like, I get it, but like, bro, like, you can go to like his community where he was keeping track of the money pick record. It was 7-23 at one point. How is that even fucking mathematically possible? So yeah, man, like a little bit better. I mean, fuck, man. If that happened to me, like I said, my wife would be on the fucking street. The dog would be looking for a new home. Hell, the fucking cat would just walk out and just be like, yo, fuck you. This isn't good enough. Like, but yeah, like I get it, man. I get it, man. What's up, Wiz? Wiz, did you bet the Raiders for me last week? And thank you, Steven. I think it is, man. Dude, we've been fucking awesome this year. We've been a fucking train this year. Johnny Boy, Buccaneers, Commanders. And I have a photographic remember. I remember when Justin wrote down on Patreon. I was like, come on, bro. Dude, Leo, we all live on the edge. We're all on the edge 1 fucking second. We're all on the edge. Unless you own a home and have some sort of pension from a government like New York or California. Like, my dad has like a pension from New York State and he owns his house with my mom. Unless you're in that situation, we're all on the fucking edge. Okay. Like, that's what's scary about it. That's what's scary about everything. We're all on the edge. But yeah, we all live on the edge. Like, but yeah, me more so than others. But luckily, you guys support the show, and yeah, man. So why do I always look wet? Well, because I live in a country that's fucking 95 degrees every day, and I don't have an air conditioning in this airtight studio. And also, I prefer to take a bath before I do the show. So do you want me blow drying my hair? Would you like me to blow dry my hair like Caleb Williams does before games and paint my nail polish? I'm sorry, I'm not spiffy enough for you, sir. Okay, I gotta get through these questions because I gotta go watch fucking Mufasa with my wife. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Derek, hey John, hope you guys had an awesome Christmas and Happy New Year. 2 questions. Who would you take for Survivor this week between Chargers, Cincy, Rams, Indy? Derek, congratulations. Firstly, we had a great Christmas. Thank you. And congratulations on being alive in Survivor right now. Okay, we got Bengals, Rams, Chargers, Indy. Cincy. Oh, but the Rams is tempting. Rams, go Rams, because anytime we dude, Cincy, like, listen, I'm very confident on it. I'm very confident on it. with the spread, but like anytime since he's involved, we have to go on caution. Go Rams, go cautious. Which 2 games would you take off this 7-point teaser? Cincy +4, Rams +0.5 point, Tampa -1, Philly +0, Miami +0.5 point, Green Bay +8, Detroit +3.5. I would leave Detroit on. Green Bay +8. Okay, let me think about that. Miami +0.5 point. That needs to stay. Philly +0. Let's fucking not touch that Philly game. Tampa -1. Leave it. Rams +0.5 point. Cincy +4. Yeah, I would take Green Bay and Philly off, and I would be shocked if that didn't hit Derek. J Bar Lawson, I like your Vikings this week. The line seems disrespectful towards Minnesota. I see them winning by a touchdown. Like you said, Josh Jacobs is key to Green Bay moving the ball, but I really don't see it happening against the Vikes Green Bay offense. Going to be behind having to throw, and Love will be a mediocre quarterback. Am I missing something here? No, but I don't want to touch it. I think the game comes down to whether my Vikings can stop the Packers' run. My Vikings have been very good at stopping the run this year, but we saw what the Rams did to them. And if you're able to run it on the Vikings, that could be haywire for the Vikings. But I like the Vikings as well. I'm just staying away from it. I'm a little bit nervous, but I do think you're to a point. Like Jordan Love is one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz in the league. And if the Vikings can get them in 3rd and long situations, I think they match up well. So yeah, I do like the Wicks player props. But once again, I went to the Bet365 and wanted to look at Dontavius Wicks player props, and they didn't have the lineup. That's the play I like the most in the game, but like I said, I couldn't get the prop up. Francesco, if the Vikings win, do you think buying the Lions at -6.5 would be a good bet? Merry Christmas, all the best. No, I don't. The Lions have no one left, and thank you, my man, for the Merry Christmas. I just don't think the Lions have enough left on defense to be competitive. So I don't like. I'm not saying the Vikings win that game. But yeah, man. The Vikings win, like that Detroit game gets more intense, right? Don't blink. Hey, Lawson, hope you're ready for the new year. I know you don't like long legs, but what do you think of this parlay? And this is the first time I've seen you post Don't Blink. Nice to see you, bro. Vikings money line. A little bit risky, man. I wouldn't put that on any parlay. Like I said, I think there's high variance in that game. I want to watch it as a fan. Chargers +3.5. Yes, I do. I do. I think the Patriots are very dangerous in that game, but Chargers, if you get to +3.5, I'm fine with it. Dolphins money line, Rams money line, Colts money line, Eagles money line +5, 6, 7. I would not bet that Eagles Cowboys game. I would go Bucks money line instead, and I'm a little bit worried about the Colts, man. Like, there's a parlay buster every single week. I think that has opportunity to be a parlay buster, man. I'm not trying to get crazy here, guys. I'm not, but like I said, I like it, but I would just take out the Vikings money line. If you take out the Vikings money line and you add Bucks instead of the Eagles money line, that's safe. Like I said, Eagles should win the game. I just don't know if I should. Yeah, man. I just think that Eagles game is complicated, man. Wheezy, hi Lawson. I hope you moved your laptop around so you're talking into the camera today. Man, I forgot. I don't want the laptop blocking me. Then you're not going to see my face at all. So I guess the movement wouldn't really work. I hope you moved. Okay, I really wanted to go hard on the Eagles this Sunday. Your thoughts? I would not. I mean, Hurts is out, right, Wheezy? Someone said Hurts is out. Like I said, I'm not engaging in that game. Richardson hasn't practiced all week. I'm pretty sure he's going to play, right? Mike, I got to go early tonight, so no guess. My bad on that. I got to go really early tonight, so my apologies on that. Hurts is out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like I read it before and you guys were saying it. So yeah, yeah, man. I don't really want to get against Dallas. Like I got burnt. I got the chlamydia with the Panthers against them, and and I don't feel bad about it. I think it was the right play at the right time, but it is what it is. I got really burnt on that. Alexander Alvarez. What's up, Alex? Happy New Year, Lawson. Great pick with the wife and the dog. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do you ever get nervous when a game has 70% or over by the public deciding what team will cover the spread? Do you stay away or fade the public? Alex, I don't pay attention to it anymore because the Sharps have been losing really bad this year. They've been an absolute disaster. We have a guy on Discord, like, for instance, if a game starts +3, no, let's say a game starts +2, and then the line finishes -1, it's an auto bet from him. And I don't know about the other sports, but in the NFL this year, it's been disastrous. And I'll give you another example where it's been disastrous. Remember the first 4 weeks of the year? Yes, I had a very good week 3, had a pretty good week 4. No, I had a decent week 4, really good week 3, terrible week 1, terrible week 2, and then like week 5 and 6 was average. Every single time I made a money pick, like for instance, I'll go like Dolphins -3 on Tuesday. Every single time, every single money pick earlier in the year, the first 8 weeks, I'd pick a team -3. Game would close -4.5, -5. And a lot of times it would never go the other way. It would never go against me. What did I get for that? Hard dick and bubble gum. That's all I got. It didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything that the so-called like sharps that people create on the internet. It didn't mean anything. As for the public betting a game, remember when I bet the Chargers against the Falcons and everyone was cautioning me it? Like, bro, I don't look at it. I don't look at it anymore. I don't engage with it. Because I'm just trying to engage with these teams. And I even like, listen, even like I stopped like reading, like I read all your Christmas wishes and stuff, but I even stopped reading a lot of the comments on YouTube. Not because like a lot of you guys know football really well, but at a certain point, I can't let outside opinions sway mine. Especially a lot of times I pick games that no one's agreed with, and those are the best bets. So I can't worry about what other people are doing, like because no one wants because bro, it's fucking human nature. I guess the thing with the public, like I've gone against the public this year. Like I've been on like where it's been like 85%. I'm on the 15%. Obviously you saw the Jets money pick this week. It wasn't too popular. Not sure what the public betting percentage is. But it's just human nature when 20 people are saying the sky when 20 people are saying, let's say 20 people are saying Argentina is better than Brazil to visit. And then you're the one person saying Brazil is better. And then everyone says you're an idiot if you're on that, if you're 20-1. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the upset video. Like, look at the upset video. Look at some of the reactions I get when I do the long shots. But yeah, a long story short, Alex, like I don't worry about it. I really don't. Like I do engage with it if people ask me about it. There's only one time where it was concerning this year, but we were on the Steelers. Like, let me do an example. Let me do an example. There was one time this year where I engaged with it, but we were already on the Steelers. For instance, Steelers were -2.5 week 2. I think it was week 2 at the Broncos. Okay. 92% of the bets were on the Broncos. Like 8%, 10% were on the Steelers. We were already on the Steelers. Okay. So obviously the Steelers kicked their ass. But if you looked at the house, the amount of money bet, Most of the money bet was on the Steelers. That means smart people were on the Steelers. That's the only time it's worked this year. A lot of times it doesn't work that way. Well, on a fucking rant. My bad, Alex. Marine, hey, John, the starting center is out for the Patriots. I mean, that offense line is shit, so I don't think that changed the calculus. And they are 8-15 against the spread after a loss. Like, in terms of, like, what years? Are we going back to Brady years, or, like, where are we going, Marine? I am really liking the Chargers. What do you think? I wouldn't take the spread in this game. Let me just say that. I would not take the spread in this game. I think there's a high variance of what can happen. I think there's 2 game scripts. This game is very competitive, and it comes down to the last possession, and it's a 3-point game. Or the Chargers beat the brakes off of them. But yeah, like, I don't think the calculus of this game, of the starting center being out for the Patriots, makes a difference. They haven't blocked anyone the whole year. The whole difference with Drake May between him and Jacoby Brissett is Drake May has been so good at avoiding sacks. We have to give him so much credit for that. And that's a big difference. So that's my calculus for that game. I don't think that changes it for me. Dirk Diggler, how do you feel about the Cowboys money line if Hurst doesn't play? And Detroit on the alternate. Okay, how do you feel about the Cowboys money line if Hurst doesn't play? Oh, okay, if Hurst. Okay, you wrote Hurst. Okay, Dirk Diggler. Let me start again. How do you feel about the Cowboys money line if Hurts doesn't play and Detroit on alternative line at -5.5 points against the 49ers? Thank you in advance, my God. I don't know if I would alt Detroit, although very good team to alt. I don't know if I would alt Detroit. I do kind of like the Cowboys money line play since Hurts is out. I do. I do. It's just I don't know if that'd be a long shot with Target. I just don't. But the Cowboys have been playing really good football. Yeah, man. And about Detroit alts, like, I don't think you're getting like enough bounce, like going from like 3.5 -3 to 5.5. That's just me. I don't think that's enough bounce. And I'm not sure Detroit's defense gets too many stops. Yeah, Marine, we're still doing alive. Okay, Prestige, what's up with the Lions? Seems like a college fund to me, but nobody is talking about it. Well, what's up, Prestige? Firstly, Merry Christmas to you, my man. Secondly, I don't think it's a college fund because I'm not sure they get stops. But I am doing a separate video on that game, and I have been thinking about it a lot. I do want to money pick Detroit, I will be honest. But I'm realistic about this defense. I'm realistic about the 49ers getting a free shot at them. But yes, here's why I think Detroit is a borderline money pick. I think Detroit runs the ball all over him. And, you know, the 49ers haven't been good at stopping the pass this year, but they've also been just dog shit at stopping the run. So I think that's a big issue. Torres, 29-74. Lost, and the favorites are winning on Saturday. Chargers, Bengals, and Rams. In terms of winning, guys, I got something coming in that Chargers-Patriots game, so I don't want to go too much into it. Bengals, I believe the Bengals win. Rams, I believe the Rams win. Although that Rams -6.5 is a bitch, man. That's a bitch. Like, we can't engage with the Rams spread, right? And I just want to caution people. I think people are forgetting between week 16 and week 18, when a team has a free shot. Did you guys see the Patriots fake punt against the Bills last week? Even the Jets-Rams game, the Jets were really aggressive. The Jets didn't punt the whole game. And the Jets had 4 fourth downs that were high leverage, and they moved the ball the whole game on offense. And we were all holding Rams tickets. And of course, the Jets made the mistake on high leverage situations where they were like 4th and 1, 4th and 2. They missed the field goal. Then they could have kicked a field goal, and they went on 4th and 3. But yeah, man, when teams really push the envelope in these weeks, underdogs are really, really fucking dangerous. That would be my point. That would be my takeaway going into this week. But like I said, that Chargers-Patriots game, yeah, I guys, I'm worried about the Chargers going into this game. Okay. No, Marine, I'm not trying to sway you. Marine, I'm not trying to sway anyone on the Chargers-Patriots pick. I think you'll see what I write on Patreon about it. Because once I get off of here, I'm going to post those up. So yeah. But what's the spread in the Colorado game before I go? I'm going to make sure I watch that. That's at night. Let me see the times of the games. Okay, Mike. If the Vikings win that game for Detroit means nothing, and while Dan Campbell has been our savior and is saying starters will play, okay, let me read Michael Mann's comment, because he did say this earlier in the week, and I did repeat it, and I feel like no one engaged with it. And this is one reason why I wanted to wait to do the game, because I had to think about what Michael Mann wrote. Okay, this is for prestige. Like, this is just the one reason why you can't make it a college fun. If the Vikings win, that game for Detroit means nothing. And while Dan Campbell has been our savior and is saying starters will play, they'll be thinking about the Vikings game. Agreed. And just judging by the line, it's not me being a Minnesota fan, although I'm feeling nervous about this Packers game. I honestly don't know which way it goes. Like, if you guys enlighten me which way you think it's going to go, I would enjoy reading your takes. But the line says it all. Like, there's a pretty damn good chance Minnesota wins the game. There's like a 50-50 chance. Maybe like a 52% Packers chance, 48% Minnesota. So yeah, that's why we can't really engage at the Detroit game. I kind of want to engage at the Detroit player props more. Clifton, Lamar MVP all the way. I kind of agree with you. I would go Josh Allen. But like I've been saying all year, and I know maybe I'm reading too much into the stats. But this has been Lamar Jackson's best passing year. And I think this is more impressive than his last 2 years, because the Ravens just started playing defense 3 weeks ago. They didn't play defense the whole year. And that offense has been an absolute train. And like, people have gotten on me for saying the Jets are a top 10 offense, but people have also gotten on me for saying the Ravens have been the best offense the whole year. And I feel like if you look at, okay, so just take any matchup between teams. I feel like the offense that is least reliant on matchups, that is quote unquote matchup agnostic in this league in terms of offenses, is either the Ravens or the Lions. Like, I love the Bengals offense, but there's some matchups that could change them. Obviously, people would say the Chiefs offense. I wouldn't say they're in that top 5 category. There's some matchups that could be tricky for them. You could say the Bucs offense. I think they're in that category. There's some matchups that can hurt them. Honestly, when we talk about the Ravens and Lions offense, they can only hurt themselves. And we saw the Ravens making tons of mistakes. Making ton of mistakes earlier in the year. But in terms of matchups, I don't think there's any defense that can put them in a tough spot. And I feel like those are the only 2 offenses in the league where we could say that. Like, Vikings offense has been a train, but if they get a bad matchup, they could be fucked. So what other good offense do we got? Colorado is minus 3.5 right now. Oh, thank you, Cool Breeze. Very curious about that game. Remember what the sea people did to the sleeping idiots on the beach. Who were the sea people? That's the biggest question in history. Who were the sea people? That's the biggest question in history. Really random comment, rate fire. Whoa. Anyways, Alistair Hall. Hey, Lawson Claus, what would be your best picks? Alistair. Alistair, you always send super chats. Why aren't you on Patreon? Like, you can just save yourself some money and just go on Patreon. Honestly, man, I don't have a best bet this week. I want the money distributed evenly. Fins minus 6.5. All right, we'll end there, guys. We'll end there. Fins minus 6.5. I absolutely love the fucking Fins this week. I absolutely love them. I absolutely love them. Greg Gumbel died. Greg Gumbel's a really good guy, man. Greg Gumbel. I know everyone doesn't like Bryant, the brother. All right, guys, hit the like button, share the videos. Yeah, man, and we'll make sure we get everyone on for the call-in show tomorrow. Great show. Hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for the Christmas wishes. Just wanted to say that again. If there's a team you are 100% sure will win this week, forget lines and spreads. 100% sure. Are you going to do something crazy, Simple Man? I wouldn't give you like a minus 700. I wouldn't tell you to put minus 700 on anything. I don't like doing that. But in terms of like one where we're going money line, let me look. If we're going money line, Dolphins. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. Yeah, pew pew pew, Jonathan Gannon style, baby. Yo, Cool Breeze. I'm worried about Trav. Someone check on Trav, man. And like I said on Instagram, I'm extremely worried about this, and I'm not into the drama stuff. And I just started reading about it like 5 days ago. And I read about like the 10 things in succession, and it blew my mind. And then, on Christmas, for the love of God, we saw that video of her with another man. And my dad's calling me up. He's all excited about Travis Hunter. He's excited about Colorado. He's absolutely buzzing to watch them, and he told me he watched every game this year. He's buzzing about Travis Hunter playing 20 plays at wide receiver, playing the full game at cornerback. Dude is buzzing, and I had to tell him like what happened and how Travis Hunter had like the worst week in the world. Guy's a good guy, smart guy, humble guy, and like dude's wins the Heisman, and it's his worst week ever. Like, what the fuck's going on? Anyways, we'll end it there. Yeah, dude, Wiz, he is delusional. But what's going on with him, man? What's going on with him? Why isn't Dion getting to him? But anyways, like if Dion can't convince him, then what the fuck do we know? Like, what the fuck do we know? But I mean, fuck, man. Like, my dad died inside when I told him. And we just want to see the motherfucker win. Like, we're not even wishing bad on him. Like, we just want to see him win. And sometimes people tease other people. I know the teasing got ridiculous, okay? But sometimes people tease you because they want you to be better. They want you to be something. They want you to be your best self. We want to see the motherfucker win. We want to see him keep his money. Like, we want to see him be happy. We want to see him go to a house and be happy. We want to see him have a wife and be happy. We don't want to see this stuff. It's so bad, guys. It's so bad. Anyways, guys, hit the like button. What's Wahid saying? What's Wahid? Yeah, Hound. We've all been there in a relation. Hound. I don't know. You guys know I'm brutally honest. I would tell you guys if I've ever been in that situation. I've never been in that situation. But I observe people. Like I've seen grown men who worked with my dad calling him in tears about what people did to him when I was 10, about what their wife is doing to him and all that stuff. Like, and my dad would have to counsel these other men. And I just saw that and I was like, oh, yeah, we kind of want to avoid that. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, it's concerning, bro. Like, it's concerning. What did Wahid say? What did Wahid say? Let me see what he said. Okay, now. Okay, Wahid, what did you find on the Commanders game? Yeah, no, Rake, I'm not necessarily buying to see people were a loose confederation of scattered pirates. No, I'm not buying that. I think there were people who were fleeing an environmental disaster and they had no choice. Like, I don't think it was a loose confederation of pirates. I think it was a group of people who were fleeing an environmental disaster and their only way was to invade other people. Like, I don't think it was like a loose confederation of pirates. Like, I think there were people who were fucking fleeing an environmental disaster and they had nowhere to go. And then they started invading other people. But no one knows what race they were. No one knows what ethnicity they were. But yeah. Yeah, Cool Breeze, it's bad. Anyways, guys, I got to go. Have a great one. Hit the like button. Share the videos. Once we start talking, Alistair, link in the description. Link in the description. But I gave you Miami. But yeah, Alistair, link in the description. Trust me, man. Anyways, I'll gift you a Patreon membership. If you get on there, I'll refund your money. You already sent me so many super chats over the years. So just get on there. I'll refund your money. Link is in the description. Patreon.com/Lawson Show. We're buckling in for week 17. Thank you. We're watching Mufasa. Have a great one, guys.